So I feel like my son ain't never, ever, 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 ever coming back. That scares me, because he's alone. He ain't never been alone. My son ain't never been alone. Look at his family. We always been there for him, from the womb to the tomb.
All I can say is that I'm sorry to all the mothers and children out there. If I could do anything to prevent this, I would. I threw a birthday party for my little daughter. She actually turned 2, and I just wanted all my family to come together, and everybody's getting together around and just start cutting the cake, and all we heard was gunshots, and everybody just fell to the ground. It was just unexpected. I actually thought it was my balloons popping. It was gunshots.
Saturday, November 29th, 2025. A toddler's second birthday party in Stockton, California. Balloons, cake, over 100 family members packed into a small banquet hall on Lucille Avenue. Then the doors opened and multiple gunmen sprayed the room with gunfire. 15 seconds, 15 people shot. 4 never made it out alive. Susano Archuleta, 21, died shielding children in a closet. Amari Peterson, 14, straight-A basketball star, shot in the chest. Maya Lupian, 8, her 9th birthday was supposed to be 2 weeks later. Journey Rose Guerrero, 8, loved pink and learning new things every day. The shooters are still out there. No arrests for the massacre itself. Investigators say it was a targeted hit on rappers MB Nell and Flyboy Doughy over Stockton gang beef. MB Nell got grazed and disappeared into hiding. The intended targets lived, the babies didn't. The sheriff calls the gunmen animals who broke every rule. No kids, no family events.
We all know that there are people out there that are violent and commit violent crimes, but these animals walked in and shot children at a children's birthday party. And none of us should stand for that.
9 days later, the streets know who did it, but fear and the no-snitch code keep mouths shut. A few people have been picked up, but none for the actual shooting. Susano Guerrero, 22, Journey Guerrero's relative, parole violation, ankle monitor placed him at the party. Billy Williams, parole issues. 5 others nearby that night, weapons and gang charges, nothing tied to the banquet hall. 0 shooters in cuffs, $130,000 reward, tips anonymous. But one father's pain broke the internet. This is Patrick Peterson, Amari's dad, speaking days after burying his 14-year-old son.
I was like, I can't leave my baby right here. Like, you know, I had her in my arms, and then I dove down there, and then I look back over and I see people running away from my son, and I see my son laying there crawling, and I'm like, damn, Amari. So I jump back over the counter with the baby. At this point, the gunman left out of the building, and then I had my baby and my girl was in the corner, and they had all ran out the back door. So I'm like, I'm on top of Amari, I'm trying to grab him, I'm like trying to see where he's hit, because he's just sitting there just going, and I'm just like, man, I'm like, where you hit at, where you hit at? And I look, and he had a hole the size of a nickel on his chest, and I'm just like, oh God, like, what am I gonna do? And the bullet where it was at, it was like near his heart, and I'm just like, I'm trying to like soothe him and tell him keep fighting, and I, you know, I tried to, I wanted to give him CPR, but I didn't want to move him any certain way to where like I would have made matters worse. And then bullets started coming back in there, boom, 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 boom. Bullets started coming back, but he didn't. The shooter didn't come back in the building. They stood at the door and was shooting. And so I grabbed him and I drug him and the baby to the side, and I gave my girl the baby, and I tried to get on the phone to call 911, but it was so I couldn't even think of what the address was, like, you know, and me being as a dad, I feel like I failed at that because I didn't know exactly where we was at, but I didn't know it was gonna be a damn massacre.
But I called.
You know? Yeah, so she ended up calling, and I was sitting right there, and then they said the police are here. After about like I say 2 or 3 minutes of the chaos going on. They was saying the police, and I'm like, well, where they at? Because my son is in here dying. It's little girls. There's people in here laying down like hit. So I'm like, where are the police at? They like, oh, they outside. They don't want to come in because they think there's somebody in here. I'm like, think there's somebody in here. So then, like, you know, the girl came and she was like, you got to put pressure on. You got to put pressure on the wound. So I'm like, all right, I'm trying to put pressure on it. Then she come and put pressure on it. And then they was like, you got to give him CPR. So I start blowing on him, and blood the blood just kept, the blood. Ooh, God. The blood just kept coming out his face. And I'm just like, man. So I just started trying to give him CPR, and the girl started pumping on his chest, but I'm trying to keep something over his chest. And then the police come running through the door with their guns, acting like they superheroes, but everybody in here hitting, they running out the back door where all the kids went. All the people that's trying to survive then ran out the back. Y'all chasing somebody who ain't even out here, like, you know, hurting nobody. I'm like, the kids is right here that's hurt, laid out. So then they come around me talking about, oh, you know what, let us do our job and this and that. And they gave the girl like a foot wrap thing or whatever. And they say, put pressure on the wound. So then we keep pumping. He was like 30 pumps and give him CPR. So then we working that. And then I'm just sitting there looking like, this ain't working. I'm like, I got to get up out of here. So I'm like, son, man, just hold on. And I'm like, where's the ambulance? And they was like, oh, the ambulance just got here. I'm thinking the ambulance coming out. The police get around me like, oh, let us do our job. I'm like, y'all ain't doing shit. Y'all letting my son die. So then I run outside. The ambulance still out there in the damn street. They out here trying to tell motherfuckers outside, oh, don't do this, don't do that. So I had to grab one of the paramedics. I'm like, man, my son is dying. I'm not finna let my son die in here like that. So then we ran back in there. And then he was like, oh, we got to get him outside. So then, you know, we picked him up and then we just carried him all the way outside to the street and laid him out on the street. Then they got this machine to, like, you know, the pump, just keep pumping his heart. And, you know, like, they was like, we got to get him on the gurney. Like, we got to get him on the gurney now. And then this girl out here laid out. They got old boy out here laid out. So then they put him on the gurney, and then I'm like, man, can I ride back there with him? They was like, nah, you can't ride back here. You can ride in the front, though. And I'm just like, man, like on the movies, like they always let people ride in the back. So I'm just kind of tripping, like, why they ain't letting me ride in the back? So then they was like, oh, it's too many cars. It's too much people out here. So we're gonna have to wait and we're gonna make an entry. We're gonna have to make an exit. So I'm like, all right, well, whatever you gotta do, we need to get there. So they make a little exit to get out of there, and I asked the paramedic, like, okay, like, why y'all driving so slow? Like, anytime I see the paramedics, like, they doing 100. He like, oh, well, we gotta drive at a certain speed so, you know, they can do their job back there. So I was like, man, that's understandable. Like, I understand that, because I'm like, okay, I'm panicking right now, but like at the same time, I'm like, I don't want them to get in the accident or something else happen and where we don't make it to the hospital. So I had to calm myself down. So when we get to the hospital, this is probably around like 6 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And I keep asking him, like, is he all right? I'm like, is he all right? I'm like, Amari, keep fighting. And I'm just, you know, it's just like going through my head over and over and over. My baby just sitting there. It's going over and over about my baby. So she called, she tell me that that KK got hit, but KK is okay. And I'm like, okay, thank God. I'm like, okay, I seen my baby. And then I'm like, where's Pierre? Because in the midst, then he was lost. And they was like, oh, he's fine. So when we get to the hospital, they like, oh yeah, when we get there, you gonna have to go out here. And they just basically led me out to another room. And I'm just like, why y'all sending me out to a room? Why y'all don't take me up there with my son? Why can't I be in the same triage with him and just see him fight, or just be there to hold his hand or anything? They didn't let me do none of that. That's why I think my son was already gone before we even got to the hospital. So then after 7, 8 hours of just waiting at the hospital, they keep telling people, oh, we can't give anybody any information because we trying to get everybody's we trying to interview everybody and get all the questions that we need. But I had been interviewed twice, and I had already talked to an officer. So at this point, I'm done talking. I'm trying to figure out where my son is and how and what's his condition. They just so then like about an hour later, they come back downstairs with my son's jeans all cut up. He was like, "Oh, we had the officer give me the my son's jeans. Talking about we had to cut up his pants to get him off of him." And then I'm looking. He got feces on it. I'm like, man, like, why, like, what's going on? Like, is he okay? Oh, I can't tell you that. So I'm just like, okay. So now I'm feeling like, okay, this is bad because, they done gave me, y'all done came down here and gave me a pair, the only jeans he had on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just gave me some and I'm like, okay, so what's going on? Like, cause we was the first ones there from that incident. So I'm like, damn, should I be getting the news first? And then other people just start coming in. And then, it was just a whole waiting game. And then they didn't really start answering questions until a lady spoke up, and then people started getting angry. Like, we've been here for 6 hours and y'all ain't said nothing, and y'all telling people that we coming down here and we gonna talk to y'all. Then they come down there and was like, oh, we don't have any answers for y'all. And then they just came back down there and said, oh, we waiting on the sheriff department to get more answers. And we like, well, answers from who? Because everybody here was either at this party and we told y'all whatever we knew, and all we seen was one gunman. And I don't even think everybody seen the gunman, because as soon as he came in there shooting, people just took off running. I was the only person that actually got to see the gunman, because I looked dead at him when he started shooting, but he had on all black. What else you want me to tell me? Well, tell you, like, he had on all black, he had a mask, you know what I'm saying? And like, I can't say he was light-skinned, dark-skinned, had long hair, short hair. I don't even know his name. I barely even knew half of the people. And I know people are probably right, oh, they shouldn't even been there. But like, you ain't gonna know until you was put in a situation where you like, okay, well, maybe not. Like, yeah, I would have rather not have went to the party. My son really didn't want to go. He wanted to go play night hoops. But we was invited by some family friends, and I don't associate with everybody that was in that party. I was there on the behalf of my baby, my daughter, and my younger kids, because the person who threw the party, her son played with my son. Her daughter is the same age or a year older than my little baby girl. Her mama birthday is the same day as my daughter's. So that's where these connections just started coming in at. Like, whoever else was there, I had no social relationship with them or anything like that. The only thing was that they were associated with people that are rapping out of that area, and my son so-called listened to some of their music or knew about them and just wanted to meet somebody. That's just like me wanting to meet the Jacka or Mac Dre or somebody that from my era. Like that, like, I at one point I was trying to do music and everything, but me as a father, I knew I had to change because of what the rap was turning into. And now that my son is gone, I don't think I fully changed enough, because if I should have told him to stay away from him. I should have said, they gonna be there? No, we ain't going to that party. But at the same time, I was just trying to show a little bit of love back for the people that came and show my people love. Because, when I was throwing my baby's birthday parties, like, I'm like, well, who gonna come? We gonna throw a party, who gonna come? They showed up. Yeah. They brought gifts. They showed love. And at the time, like, they was the ones that was only showing love, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like, okay, well, we could go show love to their babies. Yeah. And that's the only reason why I was there. I don't have, I ain't got shit to do with, my son didn't have nothing to do with nothing in that party. And now I feel unsafe. I feel like the weight of the world is deeply, heavily crushing me right now, because just by me being a black man in America trying to even survive out here, to get a good paying job or to build a small business, to even take care of my family, to pay bills and do whatever I gotta do, just the weight of that, and just being a dad and being able to watch over your kids even when you gotta go and gotta leave them, like, and for for me to be just in a situation like that and to lose a son, and I want my son to be known. I don't want him to go. He was already known, but I don't want him to die in vain and nobody remember him. And it just, oh, that was just Amari, my 14-year-old son that could have been somebody is just gone now because you is out here playing like y'all somebody and y'all ain't shit. Y'all here shooting at babies and shit. Like, come on now, like. So that's why I'm here, you know, that's why I'm doing this interview, because I want the world to see and to know about my son. The way he would just look up to me, the way he was looking up to me, and him just growing up, and I would wake him up every day. I go to the gym and I'm like, Mara, you gotta get ready for football. You gotta come to the gym with me in the morning. I used to be like, nah, Dad, I can't go. I gotta grow. I'm trying to get 6 foot by I get to high school. And I was like, all right, man. But I didn't have the love. I didn't have the parents. I didn't have everything that I gave him. I didn't have a mama and a daddy and a brother and a sister and a brother and a sister. I didn't have none of that. I just had me and my mom and my sister, and I had to go through this the hard way. And I try to make life the way it's supposed to be for somebody. Oh man, I just love you, son. And like, baby, please, if there is some type of psychedelical way or some type of way that I can see you again and I can hold you, come see me. Come tell me that you are okay. Because I want to know that you went to heaven and you didn't die in vain. Because that's all I wanted was you to just be somebody. But I knew that he was gonna touch the world and he was gonna be somebody. But I didn't know it was gonna happen like this. Mm-hmm. Mama said it was gonna be days like this, but she never said it was gonna be days like this. Never. In a million years, I would have never thought my baby would go out like this and shit was gonna happen and he was gonna get murdered in cold blood at a little kid's birthday party. I don't know how I am going to live. I have to be strong for my family. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I barely struggle with how I'm going to pay my bills month to month. I struggle with how I'm going to make it from day to day to day. Oh, they took my baby. There's nothing like him. There's nothing like him, man. When I talk about one of a kind, rare, like that's what he was.
How do you want Amari to be remembered? And what are your favorite memories with him? What was Amari like as a kid?
Man, he was just a great kid, man. He was like the golden child, man. He got straight A's. He was a good student. He was a good team player. He was athletic. He loved basketball. He loved football. He loved riding bikes. He loved popping wheelies. He loved making his little money off selling his bikes and stuff. He didn't like being yelled at, just like me. He didn't like being scolded. He loved his brother and sister dearly. He would always, mess with his little brother, but in a sense, like, it was just him, trying to keep him tough. He loved his baby sister. He loved his mama dearly. Like, like, you couldn't ask any more from God to have a son like that. You couldn't ask any more from God to have a baby like that. Where you just like, damn, man. Like, I can't even get mad at you for having the stuff that you do, and what you don't do is just like, that's just Mari. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he was
always happy.
He was just always happy, always smiling. His smile would just light up the sky. Like, man, like, oh my God, they took my baby. They took my baby. And I don't mean that, I don't know, like, disrespectful to anybody else who lost their kid, but they took my golden boy, man. Like, people knew in this community that my son was gonna be somebody, My son was going somewhere. He had it up here. One thing that was different about me, I never gave up on my kids. And every time I had a kid, it was a surprise. Like, I never knew, like, oh, month 1, oh, I got a baby coming. It was like 4 months in, boom, 5 months in, you got a baby on the way. So it was just like I was surprised with him. I was surprised with Mari. I was surprised with KK. I was surprised with BB. I was surprised with Kamaya. Like all these were just blessings just coming to me like bam, 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 bam. You know, like man, I'm like man, how I'm gonna do this? How I'm gonna take care of all these kids? How I'm gonna just be able to just be there and be able to just do everything that everybody else is doing and just be the man that I'm supposed to be and take care of my family and get a big house and get them their own room and buy them shoes and clothes whenever they need it, whenever they want, whatever they ask for. I struggled, so I did whatever I can do. Like I cut hair, I paint houses, I worked on houses, I did whatever. I worked at the school, I did everything to be there to provide for my family. And all I was trying to do was just be there with my family and have a good time, and for him, and just have a family outing. And I didn't go there because of these people were going to be there. I just went there because my wife wanted to go, because they asked to bring my baby girl over there. Because it was a baby's party. So we wanted our babies to be together. I didn't know all these other people was going to be there and be doing all this crazy mess. So like, I ain't gonna never let us down, and I don't feel safe. My kids don't feel safe. My wife don't feel safe. The hardest thing was like, okay, it's bullets flying. Which baby do I go for? Which one do I go for? Then people running everywhere. I'm like, oh, I didn't lost sight of him. I'm like, damn, I gotta find. She was the first one that I seen, so I grabbed her. Yeah. Then he was the second one, but it was too late. So I don't know. Maybe I should have just went for him first. Maybe I should have just knowing that I heard the gunshots. I should have just ran to him first. Oh my God. I just don't want to ever experience nothing like that again. I can't even sleep. I can't eat. I ain't slept in 3 days. I ain't ate really nothing in 3 days. Like I don't know how I'm supposed to go on. My mental health. I work at the schools. I can't even be around kids no more. Like high school kids that are ignorant, that's trying to be like. I can't be in a setting like that no more. So how am I gonna how am I gonna provide for my family if I can't even do my job because of all this? Like. I don't know, man. This don't even make no sense, man. It really don't. My baby ain't coming home ever again. Ever again. It's like I want to die just so I can be with my son. I don't want to live no more just so I can be there with him, so I can hold him. It's just so painful for me to just see my son there dying. And not only like I'm trying to save him and them. I don't know if anybody has ever experienced anything like that. It's horrific. Like I thought horror movies were scary. No. Horror movies are not scary. It was horrifying and seeing your kids and seeing bullets flying everywhere and you trying to save them. There's always going to be a void in my heart now, and all my family, all my kids, my daughter, she got hit. I could have lost her. You know, and she it's gonna change her for life. My son, it's gonna change him for life. Him and Amari share the same room. He can't even sleep in the same room no more. You know what I'm saying? They having nightmares. My wife, how you think she feel? That's her baby.
What would you want to say to Amari?
I would tell like what I would tell him every day, son. I love you, baby boy. I love you with all my heart, and I wish I would have been able to take that bullet for you, or I wish I would have been able to save you from all this happening to you. And I tried to do what I can, and Daddy is sorry, and Daddy love you, and Daddy miss you. Daddy ain't gonna never be right without you. Daddy ain't gonna never be right without you. That boy changed me. He made me into the man. He changed me into being a man. Baby, just come see me. Just come help me. Just put your hands on me. Just come soothe my soul so I can at least get some rest, so I can keep fighting. So I can keep fighting for your brothers and sisters, baby. And I'm sorry. Daddy is sorry. And I was saying for the rest of my life. I was saying for the rest of my life, every day I wake up, every day I go to sleep, baby, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
After the world heard Patrick's heartbreak, Grammy-winning artist Burna Boy quietly paid for every funeral. Amari, Maya, Journey, and Susano. So no grieving family had to choose between bills and burying their child. 4 little white caskets. 4 Christmas stockings that will stay empty forever. 1 city still waiting for justice. If you know who pulled those triggers, the reward is $130,000, and your name stays secret. These babies deserve candles, not body bags. Rest in peace, Susano Archuleta. 21, Amari Peterson. The Ornis, Maya Lupian. 8, Journey Rose Guerrero. 8, we will never forget you.